A photo of Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya appears as a bombshell before Congress, the man who led Guinea's 2021 coup, posing with US troops just months before overthrowing his government. Did we train and equip him? Langley hesitates. I cannot identify that by name. But the image speaks for itself. Welcome to the Black Post with shocking updates on the US military training in Africa. Is it a coup factory? This question was raised when a resurfaced video stirred fresh controversy, showing US Marine General Michael Langley admitting that America trained Mamadi Doumbouya, the soldier who later overthrew Guinea's government in 2021. Now Langley is in Kenya for an African defense summit, and his presence is raising eyebrows, especially after his recent inflammatory remarks about Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré. Langley had accused Traoré of hoarding gold reserves for personal gain, sparking protests across Burkina Faso with crowds chanting, "Hands off our country." Though Langley claims his words were taken out of context, Africans are telling him loud and clear, stay out of our affairs. But the bigger question remains, how many US-trained soldiers end up leading coups? In the video, Langley struggles to answer, estimating America has trained around 50,000 African troops, yet can't say how many turned against their governments. The clip cuts deep, especially when Doumbouya, once a US-trained officer, is now Guinea's leader.
Decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped?
Congressman, I don't have that figure. I can get that figure for you.
Ballpark, just, how many?
Congressman, it would be a wild guess, right?
Seems like something we should know, right?
Over the years, we have trained a substantial number, especially in the Gulf of Guinea states, but including
like more than 10,000.
It is more than 10,000.
More than 50,000?
I say we're reaching around 50,000 at least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number, Congressman, very small number.
So what percentage do you think?
I'd say probably less than 1%.
But it does happen.
The IMEC program is in force, and we've pushed a significant number through our schools across the
and what data sets do you track to arrive at the conclusion that less than 1% of the roughly 50,000 that we've trained have participated in coups? Because it'd be like about 500, about 1% of 50,000.
Congressman, you may have that information. I don't at this time, but I know.
Well, I know there are some, right? Like go ahead and throw up that image. This is Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. Did we train and equip him? In Guinea?
By name, I cannot identify that.
Well, that guy in the middle with the big red hat, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, that's him with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken, in 2021, he led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
Congressman, core values is what we start off with in IMA programs.
Do we share core values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Core values. I will repeat that. Core values. Respect for humanity.
Do we share those values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Absolutely. In our curriculum.
He led a coup.
We do.
As Langley defends AFRICOM's role on the continent, many Africans are demanding answers. Is the US fighting instability or fueling it? Less than 1 cent? The uncomfortable truth about US trained African soldiers. General Michael Langley's testimony before Congress takes a startling turn when pressed on how many US-trained African soldiers later participate in coups. A very small number, probably less than 1%, he claims. Yet when asked for data, he stumbles. I don't have that figure at this time. Then comes the bombshell, a photo of Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, the man who Guinea's 2021 coup, posing with US troops just months before overthrowing his government. Did we train and equip him? Langley hesitates. I cannot identify that by name. But the image speaks for itself. The contradiction is glaring. The US military insists its training instills core values, respect for humanity, yet Doumbouya, who received that very training, seized power by force. If this is less than 1%, what does that say about the other 50,000? This revelation forces a hard question. Is America stabilizing Africa, or unwittingly or intentionally fueling its coups? If a US-trained officer can topple a government, how many more are potential risks? And whose interests do they really serve? The uncomfortable truth may be that Africa's militaries are being shaped into instruments of foreign influence, dressed in the language of partnership. The bigger picture? Neocolonialism isn't dead. It just wears a different uniform. Who really controls Africa's armies? This is the disturbing truth behind foreign military training. Guinea's coup wasn't just another power grab. It was a wake-up call. When US-trained Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya ousted his government, it exposed a chilling reality. Are Africa's militaries truly sovereign, or are they being molded into instruments of foreign influence? The implications run deep. If soldiers educated in democratic values can overthrow elected leaders with little international backlash, whose interests are really being served? The US frames its military training as stabilizing. Yet when coups follow, the silence is deafening. Is this about peace or preserving geopolitical control? Africa's struggle for true independence isn't over. When external powers shape internal power dynamics, whether through training, funding, or tacit approval, can we claim self-determination? The question isn't just about Guinea. It's about every nation where foreign-trained officers hold the keys to power. At the Black Post, we see this as more than a scandal. It's a call to action. If Africa's future is to be truly African, we must ask, who trains our armies? Who profits from instability? The answers will define our continent's destiny. What do you think? Is foreign military assistance a lifeline or a leash? Share your voice. Stay aware. Because freedom begins when we open our eyes. Like, share, and subscribe The Black Post for more news mining.